You're giving me a little bit like of Cecily Strong vibes. Like I think you're funny like her and like maybe similar-ish looking, like if you were brunette.
Maybe.
Like this may have been it. I may have backed into an insult here without knowing it.
No, she's really pretty.
Okay.
She's really pretty. She actually did the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
Yeah.
And I think she was she wasn't the first female, but I think she was the first female like in a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, she actually did a pretty good job too. Because I mean, that's always the hard part with a comedian is when you get the White House Correspondents' Dinner, whatever president is there, you're automatically going to be like, you know, oh, this liberal, or oh, she bombed, or and female comedians have a harder time. I truly believe that. Just because not only does looks count, you know, but the way you land a joke, you can't be that like, you know, people sometimes don't find that funny, you know.
I don't know if female comedians have a harder time. I just think a bunch of other female comedians have ruined it for you.
I agree with
that.
That's
true.
Like
yes.
What, that Susan Cho chick or Margaret
Cho? And I
Cho,
used to love
terrible.
her.
Why? Oh my God. Never mind.
No.
You ruined it for yourself.
No. Her old stand-up where she would talk about her mom, about like the first time she got her mom high. And she's like, oh, I could go get some popcorn. You know, I'm so high. Like she would do funny impressions of her mom, and her old stand-up was good. And then she got like activist. And I was like, okay, click.
Why does that always happen?
It's the activist, or like literally every joke becomes about a vagina. Like every single joke. It's like, okay, like vaginas are great and wonderful and funny sometimes, but not all the time. Like, and some of these chicks like Amy Schumer. Oh God. Like, ugh. I just want to.
I hate that that's all. Amy Schumer is what comes up. That's how you know there's not enough good female comics, because people always go, oh, Amy Schumer is like their basis for comparison.
Sarah Silverman had a great comedy moment once.
She did, but also went activist.
Well, I was going to say it was at the beginning of Way of the Gun when she got punched in the face by Ryan Felipe. That was fucking hilarious.
Wow. Haven't seen that one.
I agree.
That's like the best intro to a movie of all time. A Way of the Gun. The first like 5 minutes is. Okay, so yeah, Benicio del Toro and Ryan Felipe sit on this guy's BMW, and he's with Sarah Silverman in a line waiting to get into a club. And she's like, hey, you fuckheads, get off the car. And she starts screaming at them and saying all this shit. And Ryan Felipe said, wait, how many naughty words can I use? All of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, try not to use the N-word. I reserve that
No. He just says, he says, shut that cunt's mouth before I come over there and fuck start her head.
Wow.
And then, oh God, it's beautiful. It's like, seriously, Way of the Gun is this underrated film that's fantastic, but it's also got the best first 5 minutes of any movie I've ever seen.
That sounds great.
Well, I know what I'm watching this weekend.
But
the one comedian I will say that I loved, and I loved, my grandmother loved her because I think she was just very new wave and kind of walked so the rest of the female comics could run, was Joan Rivers. I loved Joan Rivers. And she died for her comedy. When she called Michelle Obama a transgender and then went on that operating table to get her facelift fixed, and she died. You can't tell me that had anything to do with it.
You're so base, Faran. Yes. Yeah, that's what happens when you out big Mike. You're not going to live through it.
Yep.
She and Papa Scalia went together to the sky.
Oh my God. Yeah. Joan was such a big inspiration for me when I would do these roast battles, and also like now just for regular stand-up, because she was just ruthless and so on. And that's the thing, you don't even think of it as like mean. Just say like, what is the most honest you could be? And that's usually a good roast joke.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So those are great roasts. Also, like the completely flippant roast for like when you need to roast someone who actually needs to be put down, like the heckler or whatever, you got to stop them because they're being a piece of shit. Like you give them a no effort, like grade school insult. And they're so pissed off that you didn't put any thought into it. Oh, it's that's magic. That's the spice. And they're like, no, I thought I was gonna get something clever. It's like, no, you're just gay or whatever.
No, I'm just gonna call you gay. Yeah.
You have high-waisted feminine hips. Sit down, you know. That's
Sit down, Shaq.
Yeah.
They're looking at their hips like, oh God, I wasn't even thinking about that.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot about the whole, and someone asked me this in an interview this week, like, do women comedians have it harder? And I think it's kind of a dumb question because I don't know what it's like to be a male comedian, so I have nothing to compare it to. And it's like, you can also make the argument it's hard for everybody. Like, it's particularly hard for white guys right now because they are called a dime a dozen. They go, oh, you're not like diverse enough for any of the roles, or like nobody wants to see you. And like a lot of show producers are not, they're just going out of their way to virtue signal by booking a really diverse lineup. And I think women early in their comedy careers can take advantage of even if you're a little bit good looking, and someone has a crush on you, like you can get booked a lot off of that. And nobody wants to really talk about that, but it's like, all right, that'll be your alley-oop, but then you have to be funny. You have to take it from there.
Right.
So,
right.
Didn't that guy, there was a guy who flat out said that on, it was a show a couple years ago and he got pilloried for it. But basically he's like, yeah, if like a female comedian was cute and wanted on set, like he'd just get a blowjob out of her and then she'd be
oh,
booked.
was it Joey Diaz?
Yeah. That's
yeah,
it was Joey Diaz. There was huge.
Oh, and he's hard to look at. I'm surprised. I mean, he must have had a really good show if people were blowing him spots.
Yeah, because he's got.
Joking? Oh, okay. Frank said he was joking. He's talking about how that can happen. Okay.
Oh,
right.
okay.
That makes sense.
Poor Joey Diaz. I was about to be happy for how many blowjobs he got. But,
yeah.
But then it's not true. Damn.
But there's also this whole premise though, like, for example, when I was in DC, I saw Michelle Wolf.
And hi Faran.
Oh my god. Hi everybody. I did the White House Correspondents' Dinner. It's me.
And with her like little fro. I mean she's sweet, like when she was like walking through the crowd, but like I'm so like the two people before her were 10 times funnier. Yes, they were men, but all of her jokes weren't landing. They were all social justice warriors. And she's like, you know why women have it bad? And we're like, why do we have it bad? Like, it was one of these things, like, you just saw her drowning and you're like, do we help her? Do we just let it happen?
Ever comes after. Do you know why it's hard to be a woman? It's like, I mean, I'm sure I have a bunch of premises that.
Well, then
that's like, I have a bunch of jokes like that, but
it's not hard to be a woman. It's just hard to be you.
It works when I do it. No.
Yeah. But so she started like with all these social justice, political jokes. And then when she saw that the audience just wasn't responding, even after a 2-drink minimum, she just started into sex jokes. And then people started laughing. But I was like, like George Carlin said, like talking about current events and resorting to sex jokes is lazy comedy. He talked about this all the time.
Oh, shit.
And it's one of those things where
current events is considered lazy too.
I feel personally
this is also though from the frickin' goat himself, who was like literally sprouting, philosophical ideas, per show, and he wasn't very improv like. He was more scripted and but no, I mean, like, just when you see women resorting to sex jokes, I don't know, I'm just kind of like, really? Like,
God,
really?
I do, but I try not to do too many of them.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, you can't do too many. Like you could do dating jokes and a couple here and there, but when that's all it is, I forget who it was. Well, I mean, Amy Schumer, that was the whole premise of hers. What was it, before her baby stand-up? And it got gross.
It works if you're not graphic. Like, I have 10 minutes on getting a Brazilian wax, but it's not about like my vagina per se. It's more about my relationship with the waxer and how it's awkward and like how she's like making fun of me, like saying it looks like I have like a big cooch or something. Like it's more just about like the awkwardness rather than like, like I don't like it when women are talking about like.
But that's like a guy talking about when he goes to get a massage,
blood and stuff. Yeah.
Wait, the guy tell me more about guys getting massages. I'm very interested.
I'm trying to remember I think it was either Joe Coy or Bert Kreischer where they talked about getting a massage for the first time. Or no, John Mulaney. And he goes, she told me.
Mulaney's pretty funny.
Oh, he went to St. Ignatius out here in Chicago. And that story that he talks about in his stand-up about all the kids at the house, where he threw a beer bottle on the floor and said, scatter, when all the cops showed up. My second oldest brother was at that party.
Ooh.
That was a true story. Yeah.
So you could fact check that joke.
That has been fact checked. But no, he's like, she told me to dress to my comfort level or dress down to my comfort level. So I put on a turtleneck, and it's just, he talks about, but it's not so much the sex stuff, but it could get sexual, but yeah, like waxing. I mean, that's like every chick does it,
I think
and
that'd be a great audio book would just be recordings, like just audio recordings of women talking to their Brazilian specialists. Like that would be fucking hilarious.
Wow.
Like that should just be a podcast, like today in Vagina Town or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or no,
so
it's called Clean That Grout.
Yeah, exactly. Clean that grout.
Clean that grout.
Grout. Oh. Love you guys. Thank you for the chats. Thank you for the comments. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Bye. All right. Love you guys. God, I don't even want to leave. This candle smells so good. I don't want to leave. All right. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye. Love you all. Join the Discord. Feet. Love you all. Wow. You guys are awesome. Come and get it. Bye, guys. Bye. Now I'm really leaving. Love you. Bye.